Hello, I'm Jake.
I'm Nick.
I'm Matt.
Back again. Having a lot of people I haven't had in a while come back, and we're taking the right precautions to make sure we're doing this right. The last time you guys were here, we did a reaction video to the 2009 three-person review of Alone in the Dark by the nostalgia critic, Spoony, and Linkara. Today we're gonna watch their second three-person review, and just like the first one, it's for a film by the infamous filmmaker Uwe Boll. Considered the Ed Wood of the modern day by many people, he's now retired from making movies. Most of his filmography is bad video game adaptations. Alone in the Dark, House of the Dead, and here, Bloodrayne from 2005. You ever seen this movie before?
Never have.
Can't say I have.
You guys like Doug,
I do like Doug.
and I think you've enjoyed Spoony from what I've shown you.
Spoony's funny, yeah.
I haven't shown you much of Linkara, but he's enjoyable.
You showed me a little bit of him, for sure.
Yeah.
I like him.
I like all three of them pretty much, and some of them aren't really doing much anymore, but this is back when they all came together for the second Boll outing. And without further ado, let's watch. Back when Netflix shipped DVDs.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? My next movie review called Bloodrayne.
Pretty bad, I take it?
It's an Uwe Boll movie.
Uwe Boll.
Doug now has actors to appear in his reviews.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer? Uh-huh.
After jumping out of a plane?
Yup.
After blowing up an airport?
That's right.
After crashing a car filled with explosives doused in gasoline while shooting a semi-automatic while going into oncoming traffic while singing I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy?
Twice.
Well, I can see why you don't want to review it.
It's not the only reason. You see, whenever I do an Uwe Boll movie, there's a tradition.
Tradition?
It's a long story. I can take care of it myself.
Malcolm Ray and Tamara Chambers. Pretty talented group of actors.
Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Sometimes a comic comes along where you just have... It's time.
He lives in Minnesota.
Of course there was a Final Fantasy anime, and of course it sucked, but even after the first episode...
Spoony hates Final Fantasy. This has become a popular GIF that people love to use. You might have seen it. And for Spoony, it's got good long flowing hair for
He's
it.
a very long hair.
And enter.
Christ, you guys are so dramatic.
Three Stooges.
Were they friends? Like, they become friends through this?
They were friends when they made it.
Yeah,
I'll
but like...
explain later.
Okay, sounds good.
Uwe Boll, the most faithful movie adapter of video games since the directing team behind Super Mario Bros., returns with what many consider his crowning achievement of shit, Bloodrayne. The movie, based on the classic video game, and by based I mean more gangbang and mutilated than a Game of Thrones character, once again demonstrates Boll's talent, if you can call it that, for cutting more corners than a paper snowflake. And if you thought Twilight was the worst disservice to vampires the world has ever known, it is, but this one's pretty bad too. So, let's not waste any time. This is Critic. Oh, we have something we have to address first. The elephant in the room, which of course is him. What did I do? Oh, you know exactly what you did. It happened a few years ago. The drama that was caused, everything that happened on Twitter, on Facebook, on everything like that. The betrayal of everything that we stand for. Roll the clip. You never went to Castleton. I dropped out, okay? This is Bloodrayne.
have to censor the lettering? Those two O's are looking pretty phallic.
Hey, if the aliens loco could get away with an I-gina, I think we can let that pass. Wonder if the word special is code for blackmailed. I just assume most of Billy Zane's career is blackmail.
We open up in... Actually, I don't know. They never give a location or a time period, so that's already 2 of the basic 5 essential story elements ignored. Now, let's just throw Y in there, too, as I'm sure most of this film will ignore
Michael
that.
Madsen.
As we see a team of wanderers led by Michael Madsen and his lion mane mullet. The main thing I noticed throughout this movie is it just seems like Michael Madsen is drunk off his ass through the entire film shoot. Seriously, he just looks so drunk and miserable, like they had to send a grip to his trailer and clean him up in a hurry, slap that ratty-ass wig on his head, and maybe get a few usable takes out of him.
How long do you think it will take to get there? We must go back to Brimstone. This is what I've decided to do. Monastery has been attacked, and the eye is gone.
You can almost sense the grip just off camera with a Long Island iced tea waiting for the scene to end.
He actually
and the
was
shamble
drunk when he
overtaking
made
another
this.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I may have found something of interest.
But one of them notices that the person next to him has little to reflect on.
I like you, Brimstone people. You never make a mess of the place. What have you heard? What might only be the tall tale.
Moving on, I guess. No one even batted an eye.
Is this like an everyday thing?
When did killing a vampire become yesterday's news? Yeah, I don't care where or when you are, and again, neither does Uwe Boll, but killing a vampire will never be a boring thing.
Guys, holy shit, you won't believe it. I just killed a
Brad.
vampire.
Wow.
Is it a Nazi vampire? Well, technically no, but...
Oh, please, cinema snob. Everybody knows that Nazi vampires are all the rage now. Yeah, what you did is like the Bing search engine of vampire killing.
But he killed a family of 6! Go away, cinema snob. I can't even stand to look at you. Okay, I guess I can drop his clothes off at the Goodwill or something. You do that.
We then see a carnival where a half-human, half-vampire named Rain, played by Kristana Loken, is dragged out as a sideshow attraction.
So sensitive. Water. The very touch of it burns her skin.
Wait a minute, was that holy water? Nope. Then how the hell did it burn her? Oh, Linkara, this is the Stephanie Meyer age of vampires. You can make up anything. If you want to say water hurts them, even though it's not blessed, it's okay now.
Yeah, if you want to say they in no way can fly, turn into bats, or do most of the cool things vampires do, that's okay now too.
Oh, I see. And if people travel for miles to see one as an attraction, yet nobody turns their head if one is stabbed and violently decomposes in front of their eyes,
It's totally okay!
now I know. And knowing makes it even more confusing.
But one of the other attractions, the amazing Candle Slicer, takes a liking to Rain and dreams of living in a better world with her.
My uncle.
Lesbian vampires. Nothing sells better.
Play all day, and the trees grow fruits in every color of the rainbow, and the sunsets set the whole sky on fire.
Red from Strike Commando.
There's cotton candy, fountains of it, and chocolate milk.
Reb emoting.
Yeah.
Have a field of alfalfa for the rabbit.
Without war and traffic accidents, for the sake
I don't know
of
what this is
human
from.
Doesn't it sound wonderful, Rain?
We then cut to her escaping? Wait, when did that happen? No, I guess she was just dreaming. Does she always dream in Photoshop smears?
Yeah, I need to be drunk to get through this movie too.
Wait a minute, now she's back in the field. What the hell's going on? Is this a dream? A flashback? What? Frank Miller's time codes are more fluent than this.
300s come across the
Linkara,
carnival where
classic
Rain was
joke.
and discovers it burnt to the ground.
This is the work of a young vampire. We have work to do.
Thank you for chopping off the heads of our dead people. And burning their bodies.
She didn't mean to bite me.
And stabbing our performers.
I'm sorry, have you been helped? Seriously, do these people ever react to anything? Why does nobody care that these wackos are chopping up their dead and living cast members?
Just another fad gone passe, I guess.
Guys, I just decapitated 20 corpses and stabbed an injured woman through the chest. No reason, really. I'm just kind of sick.
Were they ninja decapitated corpses?
I didn't ask what their martial arts background was.
Oh, snob. Everyone knows if there's any decapitated corpses we're talking about, it's ninja decapitated corpses.
Does this guy ever wake up? They sneak without thought, man.
But I have a thirst for blood that can't be quenched.
Away with you, snob. You become more dated with every passing view.
Why won't someone help me?
Right around the time Brad was just about to shave his head completely.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at Castle Brownfilter, we see Billy Zane dictating a letter to his daughter.
Although we've had our differences in the past, I beseech you now to put away old grudges for the good of humanity. Together we will stop this madness and bring peace to these lands. Your beloved father, etc., etc.
And if you have any information about how to get this dead skunk off my head, it would be most appreciated.
Yeah, I was gonna say, his hair looks ridiculous.
Very compelling argument, Master. You're such a sucker.
Bottom line, Lovejoy, fight her.
Villain from
The daughter
Titanic.
in this movie is played by Michelle Rodriguez, and if you couldn't tell by her unbelievable resemblance to him, surely you could tell by her pitch-perfect, completely unmistakable British accent.
Will you be opening up the gates to the thrall's grave important? You should not travel with her. We're growing weaker. I seek to feel secure. Be sure this message arrives.
Ah, it's good to know those years at the Dick Van Dyke School of Accents paid off.
You'll secure the entrance until I return.
Well, I have to be moving along. The Lord Mayor's got to stop up chimney.
We then see Rain enter a village where she comes across a female vampire hitting on a man, which clearly Rain takes as she would find her attractive and beckons her to come forward. Bow chicka wow, ow!
But a fortune teller sees the bit and run and decides, for really no reason whatsoever, to tell her the future.
Most believe
That's Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter.
Really?
Or maybe his oldest daughter, I don't remember.
Yes, you've been displayed in front of dozens of people and killed off an entire carnival single-handedly. You're better than Solid Snake.
There was a man. Kagan? Kagan's not a man, he's a vampire. And you are his creation. He killed my mother. Vampires are rarely a product of a happy union between a vampire and a human. You lie.
So you mean your vampire father killing your mother was a happy union? Boy, somebody's in denial. Your father is evil.
No, he just likes to drink the blood of Catholic nuns.
He was mean to your mother.
What man wouldn't disembowel his wife for spilling the sugar?
You like to watch the porn stars?
That is a lie! It is so obviously scripted. Who could be as stupid as Chung-Li? You or a fraud? A fraud!
It's getting worse. Spit the neck of a prostitute and no one seems to notice.
Was it a zombie prostitute?
What the hell is wrong with everyone?
Meanwhile, at Hogwarts, we see Ben Kingsley, presumably paying off an
Gandhi.
LED TV, as
Oscar-winning
Rain meets his
actor.
father. He's just been told that Rain is off to get a magic eye, sure, which is said to help get his attention. Oh look, a sailboat.
Kill her.
I think of him as a guy from Shutter Island.
Kill her.
Something you'll notice very quickly is that Kingsley's scenes are phenomenally short. Some barely even reach a minute. They're so short, I think he literally charged by the second. You could pretty much sum up every scene with,
Are you evil?
"Yep,
Just checking.
The more you know, the more
Rain
confusing
then
it
makes her way
is.
to the monastery where the eye is said to be hidden. She finds a secret location which leads her to a door guarded by an overcooked Fester Adams.
look out, you nearly hit the camera!"
Good.
Good.
Is this really the best security they could get? Just because he looks like a melting candle of Steve Austin doesn't mean his whack-a-mole method holds any water.
And...
Next, she enters a booby-trapped room that makes Indiana Jones look like a true-life drama.
Boo.
Jeez.
God, they got their security system from Itchy and Scratchy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, right. I think we all know what would happen to her.
Yep.
But the dangerous water is suddenly released. Yeah, that's still a thing. As she absorbs the power of the eye, which makes her immune to it.
Activating the water trap for the device that makes you immune to the water trap.
Hey, here's an obvious question. What if the person getting the eye wasn't a vampire? I mean, okay, the whole vampires melt in water thing is stupid already, but what if it wasn't a vampire that got it, though? What if it was just a normal guy? Would the water really be that big a threat?
You have stolen the forbidden treasure. Now face the ultimate torture.
Huh. That's mildly annoying. Can you do my picks?
But all the water, all the buzzsaws, and all the giant guards are no match for their final defense. A polite man who nicely asks her to come with him.
I suggest you follow me.
It seems that you absorbed the eye
Why do you protect it?
because the eye holds powers. Why do you think water no longer burns you?
Still wondering how it hurts her to begin with. The human body is 60% water, and blood is 80% water. How the hell?
Oh, no, Linkara, you're thinking too hard about it. Just let it go.
But it just doesn't add up.
Linkara, just keep telling yourself it's Uva Boll, man. It's Uva Boll. It's Uva Boll.
They all belong to a long-dead vampire named William. He discovered methods to defy those elements that destroy vampires.
So it's explained that the eye and 3 other separated body parts belong to a vampire who tried to perfect their weaknesses, and that if the body parts were all brought back together, it would make the most powerful vampire ever. Well, I mean, if he managed to pull this off, then how did he ever die? 2, if they're so powerful, why didn't they just destroy the damn things to begin with? This movie is driving me crazy!
Oh, come on, Linkara, you gotta calm down, man. Remember what we were talking about? Immovable. In, out. That's
Out of attitude, right?
That did make you feel better, actually. But Kagan's men attack in probably the bloodiest and yet somehow not actually gory fight scene in movie history. The makeup is so fake and poorly photographed that it's barely worth the R rating. Look at this guy. He's cut in half, but you can clearly see his legs standing out.
Well, you don't know. Maybe Wallace made him a pair of extra legs, like in the wrong trousers. Half of these guys don't even look that pained to be stabbed. They just look kind of annoyed, like they've been in the makeup chair for 8 hours and just want this crap off. Ow, I guess.
Where's the eye?
Perhaps killing you will get you to answer my question.
Rain gets knocked out, but that's of little consequence as we have more important things to focus on. Like, hey, it's been 10 minutes. Time for another 5-second Ben Kingsley cameo.
Come closer. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, all he's gonna do is rip open your neck and feed on your insides. I can see why Rain thought her mother and him had a happy union.
And just when you think this is the most pointless celebrity cameo, take a look at who they got to play the owner of the vampire feeding house.
Why do you come here and insult my palace with your stench?
Is that Meatloaf?
Yep.
Wearing a 19th century powdered wig?
Yep.
Surrounded
Amazing
by
singer.
whores and giving a performance more over the top than a kabuki pole vaulter?
Yep.
The mightiest of all vampires.
Oh my god! This is comedy overload! We need time to get all our jokes together. Pen, paper! We'll be right back
You might have seen him in Fight Club as Bob with the bitch tits.
Yeah.
And he's the singer of the songs Bad Out of Hell, I'd Do Anything for Love, and many more. That would have been the commercial break.
Okay, so we have had plenty of time to put together our meatloaf jar. So let's shake this up and see what we can get. Ladies and gentlemen, Wolfgang Amadeus Meatloaf.
How is it he managed to find a role even more demeaning than bitch tits?
Suddenly, his role in Spice World is looking like a step up. Just because you didn't wear women's clothing in Rocky Horror doesn't mean you have a perfectly good excuse to wear it here.
We know you're prostituting yourself to be in this movie, but you didn't have to make it quite so obvious.
It's midnight at the Lost and Pray to God Not Found.
This movie sucks!
Use a lot more imagination. Come on.
We were reaching the end of the break. I panicked.
Actually, they were just buying the clothes. It just so happens Meatloaf came with them. Meatloaf a day keeps the subtlety away.
I still like this movie better than To Catch a Yeti.
And finally, I would do anything for Boll, but I will not ask.
That was awesome.
How'd you get in here?
Wait.
But 3 little weeks from school, are we? Break in and try to bust her out. They, of course, have to fight off some dangerous foes. Let's turn you around here, buddy. There you go.
These two are just making out really far.
They cut up the guards and break open the window to make Meatloaf face everything under the sun.
Oh, how nice. He did the Colossus yell before he died. So Rain explains her backstory, which was already explained, about how Kagan broke in and killed her mother. Hey, come on. I'm Gandhi. Don't you want to say you got with Gandhi?
One of the hunters in particular, named Sebastian, takes sympathy on her as his parents were killed too.
My mother was killed before my own eyes.
My mother and father were both killed.
Well, that's enough for me to start banging. Wait a minute. What? Yep, the fact that they both have dead parents is reason enough to apparently make Vampire Whoopi. How much screen time have they shared together? Well, let's see. A minute. 1 minute together and they're fucking in a cage like horny canaries? Yep. Where the hell did that come from? That makes no friggin' sense.
Oh, please. Who hasn't just met a person in jail, talked for only a minute, confessed his parents are dead, and humped each other's brains out in the middle of a half-open prison door? Speaking hypothetically.
Spoony's
So
seen
as
some
they train
shit.
her to be a member of the Brimstone Warriors, Billy Zane gets word of his daughter's actions.
Better
hey,
wig.
Here's a fun game.
Yeah.
Count how many times
Barely.
Billy Zane blinks in every scene.
This land has become unsettled, Austin. The future must be held in the hand and vampire perfected. It is an invitation, my lord.
Oh my god.
That's nothing. Count how many times Michael Madsen pauses in between every single line.
You're an important part of the Brimstone Society.
Pause.
Your work
Pause.
defending the fortress
Pause.
is essential
Pause.
to our struggle and survival.
Pause.
And no one
Pause.
has ever questioned that.
Pause.
You
Pause.
are a leader.
Pause.
Rain is a fighter.
Pause.
I will take Sebastian
Pause.
if it pleases you.
Jesus, you're making William Shatner look like the Micro Machines guy.
As our heroes go to get weapons for battle, nothing but the best plastic non-sharp swords Toys R Us could buy. Who would use plastic swords in the middle of a battle? I'm just getting my hand. We see Rodriguez has betrayed her clan and leads Kagan's army into their village.
Bargain for freedom. Or leave your children motherless as a brimstone martyr. Never.
Oh, my bad. I thought we were doing a slow-mo scene. Maybe I should have pulled that out at regular speed.
Rain goes after Rodriguez alone and defeats her while finding the other magic talisman.
She finally rises to confront Kagan. And what's her ingenious plan to get in without getting herself captured? Getting herself captured. I feel like she missed a step there.
But it's okay, because Mullet 1 and Mullet 2 have an even better plan to get in without getting themselves captured.
Has the film just given up? Not that it tried that hard to begin with. So Rain's gonna be sacrificed with the talisman to make Kagan the strongest vampire in the world or some shit like that. Honestly, if you still care, you should up the dosage of whatever you're taking.
Stop it!
How dare you strike my daughter who I'm about to kill?
So this is when Michael Madsen does the weakest and stupidest attempt at the guard sick man escape routine I've ever seen in my life.
Thrall, my companion is gone. I don't know what's become of him.
So the guy just walks in there looking for the magic disappearing prisoner, and of course he gets knocked out. This delivery is so bad I can't even tell if it's done intentionally badly or not. It's amazing. How could anyone possibly believe a lie so poorly delivered?
My companion is gone. I don't know what's
My companion is gone.
Guard, these pretzels are making me thirsty. I don't know how I could have gotten so hungry.
Sure enough, the two guys that got captured taking on all the castle guards suddenly have no problem taking on the exact same guards again. Hey, it's Boll. I'm surprised they cared enough to do it right in the first place. Well, I guess Matt's the same. He gets captured, killed, and, following the theme of the movie, couldn't give a rat's ass.
Look at his face.
My God, man, you're being stabbed. Don't you care?
It's like he's barely awake.
What would it take to get an actual emotion out of this guy?
Give him this. Lewis, good not cracking.
Reason.
After Sebastian gets stabbed as well, it's down to Rain and Kagan to duke it out in a sword fight with more dialogue than Monkey Island fencing.
Strong Rain, but not skilled enough.
I would choose death. That's my blood.
You're interfering with fate. Vampires shall rule the earth.
As if your interests are noble.
I am rubber, you are glue. Sticks and stones may break my bones.
I never did into the prison. I'm just saying, it never happened.
For centuries we've been cursed to the shadows, slaughtered by the fearful.
You condemned me the day you raped my mother.
Ungrateful bitch.
Touché? Ungrateful for what?
Fuck you!
Rain finally defeats him and the battle is won. Yay.
This rose still had more dignity than the Mandarin.
Iron Man 3.
Please, please don't have to leave me. It's my time. Kagan's finished.
But we had so much. Dead parents, jail door fucking. And then, in a very bizarre ending, even for Boll, Rain takes the throne and thinks of all the times blood has been spilt in the movie.
This does make me realize how many people apparently had red hoses buried in their bodies.
Oh my God.
Yes, we have a minimal 1 minute for romantic chemistry, a whopping couple of seconds for most of the villain's establishments, and yet over 4 minutes of replaying all of the film's goriest moments in slow-mo that we already saw before. At least he has his priorities straight.
We hope you see now why you should never leave your kids around Boll.
As if this movie wasn't proof enough. If the sci-fi movie The Week is too good for you, then Boll is the one for you. Everybody else knows that his movies fight it, and this one is no exception. His characters are flat, his writing ridiculous, and his stories never make any semblance of sense.
And the fact that it has little to nothing to do with the original source material makes it one of the most laughably bad adaptations ever. What else can you say but...
This movie sucks! Well, thank you guys so much with helping me for another Boll review. No problem. My pleasure. Now get out!
Why? Why don't you just fly away? I can only do it once. See? Was that so bad?
No, it was worse.
Well, what are you gonna do now?
I am just gonna sit here and stare forward, thinking about the review I just watched, hoping I can trick people into thinking I'm more artsy than I really am.
All right.
Whatever does it for you.
Wait a minute. I don't remember doing that.
Like I said, Critic, once a stooge, always a stooge. Yeah, you knucklehead!
There's always a brief stinger after the credits. But yeah, it's the second Uwe Boll video they all did. Last time Doug had like laryngitis, so he had to use an Apple Voice program for
I
his
remember
bits.
that, yeah.
My companion is gone. I don't know what's become of him.
So, what did you guys think of the Bloodrayne review?
Thought it was good. Seems like quite. I mean, the thing about that movie, it seems like it's like clearly a large budget for it. Like it's got like the camera quality's very strong. Like there's obviously a lot of good actors in it too, but it just is ridiculous.
Uwe Boll's budgets back in the day ranged from like 25 to more than $25 million.
Yeah.
And Uwe Boll himself admits that his video game movies aren't that great, and he says he really hates video game culture, like because of the fan backlash his movies got.
Yeah.
But they
It's
were the
kind of on him.
but they were the movies that made the most money, so he kept making them.
Yeah.
And he kind of used it to like fund his passion projects. Which actually got some decent reviews. I showed you that video last year where he's like, so yes, my crowdfund campaign failed, and you're more interested in giving money to some movie about the retarded wizard in the forest or the next Marvel bullshit.
Yeah, I remember that. And isn't the end? He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. He just says fuck you to everybody who didn't support him enough.
Yeah.
And basically my message is, fuck yourself. So goodbye and goodbye Hollywood.
Hard to say what to make of Uwe Boll, but his movies make for good reviews.
Yeah, for sure.
And Kristanna Loken, before starring as Rain, she was the Lady Terminator in Terminator 3. And Michael Madsen, this was right after he did Kill Bill Volume 2, and same year he did Sin City for Robert Rodriguez. This was clearly on a free, like on a, I don't know, in-between movies.
Yeah, had some time. Probably getting a good paycheck. Yeah.
The most surprising appearance in this is Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
Like he said, probably needed the money, or just need a little spare money. And Meatloaf, I didn't recognize him the first time I saw this. He's the powdered wig vampire pimp.
Yeah. So random too.
Yeah, that is really random.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and I love, my favorite joke in this would have to be them all singing, "I'd do anything for Boll, but I will not act."
Yeah, oh my god.
It was just like perfect, all three of them together.
No, it was funny. My favorite line was where he's like, the more you know, the more confusing it gets.
Yeah. And the Uwe Boll, and they all look confused.
Yeah.
Matt, anything about the movie stand out to you?
A lot of blood. Like just from the clips they show, that's like so much blood. Every single sword death. Like thought Game of Thrones was pretty out there with the blood. I don't know. That was just a lot of blood.
And I remember Spoony was like more gangbang than a Game of Thrones character.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and when they show that montage at the end, I'm like, they weren't that good effects in fast or normal speed, so why play them in slow-mo where we can literally see every flaw?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was, seemed like quite the odd movie.
So what'd you think seeing Doug, Noah, and Lewis all together again working off each other?
I liked them all together. This was before, like, Spoony went off the map, right? Or like.
Yeah, and this is actually after he left Channel Awesome. But even though he left, he was still on good terms with most of the people there.
Yeah.
And he came back to do this because it'd only be right to have them all back for Uwe Boll. And that part at the beginning where Linkara is like, we have to address something, and there's that big dramatic build-up, and then he's like, you never went to Castleton.
Yeah. What was he hinting at?
That was a reference to a controversy that happened when Spoony left Channel Awesome. He left the site, and this was 2014, this review.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
And he left in 2012. Some people thought he was fired, but he says he left of his own accord. And he left after this huge controversy fallout from when he made a tweet to this other reviewer, and he said, you know, if things don't work out with your boyfriend, I'd be happy to chain you to a pipe in my basement and love you my way.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, that raised a lot of eyes, and some reviewers really got on his ass, accusing him of saying he would rape her, but I don't know, I think it's a little debatable. It comes off more like a really dark sex joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, it blew up, and he was not well at the time. He later found out he was bipolar.
Yeah.
Like undiagnosed at the time, and he was just reacting badly to everybody, just lashing out, and eventually he just decided to leave, be his own person. But years later, he had cooled down, apologized for a lot of what he did, and they were able to freely joke about it here.
That's good.
Spoony, nowadays, he hasn't done a scripted movie review since 2016.
Oh, wow.
He occasionally live streams a video game, but from what I've seen, he's not really that live. He's, I don't want to get into it too much, but he's really in a depressive funk, and there comes a point where you still have sympathy for somebody, but you also gotta think, whatever happens is out of my hands.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, especially as viewers, it's not our place to intervene.
Yeah. What's Doug up to these days?
Doug is still doing the Nostalgia Critic, still going strong. They're pretty much over the controversy that happened about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Lewis, as I mentioned last time, I believe, he left Channel Awesome in 2018 when they had their management controversy.
Yeah.
The ex-members not talking well of the site. And Lewis left, and I've seen enough of Lewis's tweets to know he's not on good terms with Doug or anybody on Channel Awesome.
Really?
But yeah, this is last time the three of them got together. Spoony went off the rails, did his own thing. He's going through that. Lewis left and now pretty independent. And Doug and Brad, they're still pretty much the only people left at Channel Awesome, but they're still going pretty strong. And it was fun to see Brad appear briefly.
Yeah, he was funny.
His cameos I thought were really funny.
If it wasn't for the fact that it'd be a bitch to figure out, especially with COVID, I would have invited Allie to come and maybe the fourth person.
Yeah, that'd been good.
Malcolm and Tamara, who are Doug's supporting actors. How do you think they did?
They're good.
Yeah, they were good.
Those scenes seemed like they were the best, like, edited, I guess, or whatever reason. Like, it just seemed like it was very clear.
Like the Indiana Jones one?
Yeah.
They splash in the water.
Yeah.
even Spoony when he was doing the fortune telling.
Yeah, the gypsy lady.
Yeah.
And Tamara was funny doing her little Brie accent.
Yeah.
And then Brad comes in all soaked in blood.
Yeah.
And at the end, when they hit him in the face with the cream, that was a fun little surprise. A little over the top with the Three Stooges, but they're parodying that from the get-go.
Yeah.
And there's a behind-the-scenes video where after Linkara smashes the cream into his face, they look at him covered with it dripping under the hot studio lights, And they're like, we can make so many dirty jokes right now. And Linkara, who normally is a pretty PG-13 reviewer, never says R-rated swear words, goes, I have the dirtiest mime of all, cream pie. And
that's funny.
Yeah, it's a great. This is one of the first videos I watched because I didn't discover any of these motherfuckers until 2014. So this was a fun review to discover all three of them together on.
Yeah. No, it's good to see them collaborating because they are of the people you've shown me. Brad's definitely up there too, but they're three of the funniest, and them together it's pretty funny. It's some good jokes.
Sadly, never again.
Yeah.
But hey, we have the memories.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll say is that joke where they're like, who would use plastic swords? And then he's like, I'll just get in my hand. That's a DVD of the Channel Awesome original movie Suburban Nights, where they parody fantasy action movies. And because they're a low-budget company, they had to use toy swords for the fight scenes.
Oh, really? Jesus.
There's a lot of in-jokes here that you wouldn't get unless you're a regular viewer.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that last one. Cause I noticed it was a joke, like an inside joke. I just didn't know what they were referring to.
Yeah, like Linkara saying the confusing time jump around. He goes, Frank Miller's timestamps are more consistent. Frank Miller's a comic book author who Linkara has made fun of, or he's reviewed the guy's comics and made fun of them relentlessly over the years for a lot of bad writing, he said bad plot jumping all over the place, and some pretty questionable writing for characters that has been considered misogynistic and sometimes racist. Any final thoughts to give, guys?
I mean, it seems like an interesting movie, just when you see guys tear up a movie like that, I feel like I don't even want to see it just because I'm like, alright, I'm not going to be able to take it seriously, you know?
Yeah.
Like Massacre at Central High?
But I did like, so maybe I should watch Blood Paint, because, I mean, there were some entertaining scenes, for sure.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of action in it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we all get together.
Yeah.
Throw on some Blood Paint.
We're going to need a little bit of whiskey for that one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get down with that.
On paper, it seems like a great movie. Like Ben Kingsley, Michael Madsen. I don't know, just a bunch
Cool
of
idea,
people.
too, like vampires and stuff.
Yeah.
Bad execution.
And Michael Madsen showing no emotion.
No emotion. Just
stabbed.
Hammered the whole time.
I mean, hey, you got a paycheck.
Yeah.
He's been in enough good movies. He's probably he doesn't need that.
Tarantino has set him for life.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our three-person reaction, and I have maybe one or two more in store with these guys, so we'll see you again soon. Say goodbye, guys.
See you later.